In 1942, the US government invested $2 billion into a secret project called Project Manhattan to build the first ever nuclear bomb, while Germany was doing the same thing. That is $2 billion. In modern day, it's 28 billion. Anyways, they did this because they were in an arms race with Germany to build the first nuclear bomb. Okay? And the nuclear bomb was an invention that would forever change history, and we still feel its effects to this day.
What, the several thousand non-functional warheads in Russian silos filled with water?
Yes.
The ones that can't launch.
What are you talking about? Okay, look.
The non-functioning nuclear arsenal.
Shut up! The point is, right, nowadays, we have something more important to be worrying about. And let me tell you about it, okay? So, right now, China and America are in the biggest arms race known to man, on a scale you can't even imagine, okay? In February this year, the CEO of OpenAI, Sam Altman, asked for a $7 trillion investment into artificial intelligence. Let me write this out, okay?
So AI has no way of feasibly making a profit.
Yeah, because it's not about profit. It's an arms race, okay? $7 trillion. Can we tell the difference between these two? Yeah, this one is like a third of the US GDP, right? It doesn't even go here. That's a lot of money. Okay, so it's pretty serious, right? How is it? And the crazy thing is, he's already secured like a quarter of this money. Like that's like $2 trillion, right? Yeah.
So did the .com bubble.
No, this happened this year, bro.
Yeah.
This started this year.
Yeah.
So how was he able to do that? Right? That's a crazy amount of money.
because the stock market sucks.
It's because America is putting its destiny on this technology. Okay, it's the same thing as the nuke, right? If they invented the nuke even a month later than the Germans, they would have gotten bombed. Okay, it's really important to their country, and so they need to keep developing this technology before China does. Because I'm gonna have to explain a little bit on how it works. I'm talking about artificial general intelligence. It's not the same thing as the thing we're using right now. Okay, artificial general intelligence is general. It's not a chatbot. It's not a painter. It's something that you give it a command and it does everything that it can to just achieve the command, right? Obviously, we're going to give it code and then
feasibly speaking, a convoluted neural network is far more efficient than this.
Well, basically, it doesn't have a specialized function. Okay, and it can make decisions on its own.
Which makes it bad at everything.
No, it's not, because, bro, when we're talking about technology that doesn't exist yet. Can you stop talking? Holy shit, this doesn't exist yet, okay? And theoretically, it's going to be as smart as Einstein, okay? It's going to be as smart as whatever the highest standard of intelligence is that we have, right? And it has access to every single information humanity has ever experienced, has ever compiled, and it thinks like 1,000 times faster than you, okay? So this thing is going to outcompete humans immediately, right? And the even crazier thing is that once we have this, in 1 year, we can create something called artificial superintelligence by training it on itself. And then this thing is you can't even compare it to Einstein anymore. It's 1,000 times
What is your
than
source
Einstein.
for this speculation?
Huh?
What is your source for this speculation?
Bro, just wait and see.
Okay, okay.
In every single search up artificial general intelligence, and then every source is going to tell you that we're making it right now. Okay? Might be in 2030, might be in 2050, who knows, right? But it could happen as soon as 2030. And I'm telling you, with this kind of investment, it's gonna happen. Okay?
I mean, we've also invested that much money into multiple other projects. This just happens right now.
When have we ever invested $7 trillion in this?
The .com bubble was far bigger. The Dutch East Indian Company.
What?
Yeah.
What are you yapping about?
Give me a second. Just keep going. Just keep going.
Okay, yeah. Thanks for interrupting. A lot.
You asked me a question.
Huh? What was I even gonna say?
I don't know.
Oh my fucking days.
Gonna restart. You have to make a rule that's no interrupting.
Yes, can you please not interrupt me anymore, Lucas Liu? Anyways, what I was going to say is, this is a
7.4
serious,
trillion.
this is a serious matter, right? And we like to think that AI is not going to, it's not going to happen, it's never going to happen. But I'm telling you, if there's an arms race, it's going to happen. Because the growth of AI, right, it's exponential. It goes like this, okay? If, for example, if this is month 1, this is month 2, this is month 3, right? If America gets it in month 1 and China gets it 2 months later, it's going to be 100 times behind. Right, so they need to get it first. They need to spend everything in their power to get it first. Otherwise, they're going to be completely outcompeted. Right? So this is it is going to happen, and we are going to continue investing in it. Right? Now,
Every time something this big has happened, it has crashed. Also, the Soviet Union putting that much money into a military that was corrupt.
We're investing in a technology.
Also, sir, what happens when Moore's law dies?
Yes. See, this is what I'm talking about, right? We like to argue against it. And then say, oh no, of course this is never gonna happen. Of course we're never gonna get our jobs replaced.
Of course,
right?
the housing market isn't gonna crash. Of course, the
This is not a
government-
market, bro. This is
It is a market. It's dependent on money. It's dependent on investment. My bad.
Can you okay? Let me talk for a second.
Oh, I'll say one last sentence. I disagree with the descriptive premise. Continue.
Of what?
Of this being possible. My bad.
Nobody said it's being possible.
He said that it's gonna happen.
Yeah, I'm saying it's gonna happen because it's an arms race, not because it's profitable. Look,
Go on.
I feel like today's video is fucking close to
I think Thomas is going to crash out.
I'm actually going to crash out of here. I'm actually going to crash out of here.
Land people smoke. Ask
Look,
him at the end.
the point is, right? I'm trying to get you guys to think about this thing that is going to change our lives forever, right? And that's why it's called the Doomsday ethics, right? Let's break down the title. What does Doomsday mean? It doesn't mean the extinction of the human race, right? It means that society is going to be completely upheaved. For example, when the Conquestadores arrived in Mexico, that was their doomsday. They didn't all die, obviously. A lot of them did, but it was the society that died, right? So we are looking at a doomsday right now because this thing is going to change our society, and we need to know what to do. Right? Ethics is about what should we do, right? What is the right thing to do in this situation? Have you guys seen the meme? It's like the Earth exploding. It's like, what would you do in this situation? That's kind of what we're talking about right now, right? The doomsday ethics, and nobody. This is going to be the focal point of everything. Right? Because if technology keeps developing and we're going into a world where we don't know what's going to happen, we need a direction, right? There's an economic demand for philosophy right now, okay? And the only time where something even close to this has happened is the Industrial Revolution, right? And so the only philosopher we can turn to, who might give us a place to start, is Karl Marx, right? Because in his time, we faced something, they faced something very similar to this, and that is industry, right? Industrialization. So the problem he faced was this, right? If machines kept getting better, and then people like craftsmen and horse workers and whatever you call them, and masons, and they all lose their jobs and they all move to factories, but factories don't need this many people, right? And so production keeps going up, right? But all the machines are owned by the same people. They're all owned by a small number of people who own the machines, right? And then the workers have to work long hours in the factories. And look, the point is, technology is progressing really fast, and and production capability is increasing a lot, right? And so if it keeps increasing, Marx believes that production is going to keep increasing, right? So if it reaches an unlimited point, right, then wouldn't it make sense for everything to just be shared, and then we can just take everything we want, because there would be so much production. That was his dream, right? His dream was a technological dream. It wasn't a communist dream. It was saying that if technology keeps increasing, right, we're gonna have way too much resources, and then it wouldn't make sense to just have one person own all of it. That was his point. That was his dream, right? But now we might be facing a reality like that. Okay, because in the past it was never reality, because human growth and human wants also kept growing, right? But if we're talking about growth in the factors of tens every month, our wants are literally not going to keep up with the growth in technology, right? Do you have something to say? Yeah.
Doesn't this only fulfill like part of the responsibility wants? Like humans desire a lot of physical things.
Yeah.
But if this grows in the tens of,
Yeah.
if this grows
We're not,
logarithmically,
literally, our desires are not going to keep up with how fast our
no,
technology.
but it's not going to fulfill most of them anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Because like I want a car,
Yep.
but if this AI grows faster than my desire for AI can grow, then like I'm still not going to have all my desires fulfilled. So either money's going to stop going into it, or if it's an arms race, then it's just not going to apply.
What is he saying? Look, guys, the point is,
Alright,
I'm
let the
using
internet
Marx.
figure it out.
Guys, I'm using Marx as an example, right? He lived in a time where technology is progressing faster than anyone can comprehend, and he gave society a potential direction to go in, right? This is a direction that we could possibly take. You know, Sam Altman, which is like the CEO of OpenAI, he said like, oh, maybe in the future we'll just have tokens for everyone, and then because nobody's going to have jobs, okay? And then everyone has tokens, and then they can just redeem everything they want because we're going to have so much production. Everything's gonna be free.
It's you're acting as if having this like ultimate source of AI, and it is like the innate correct, and that everything the AI will do is innately correct,
Yeah.
and that everyone will agree with that.
Of course not. But the thing is, right, because we're in an arms race, we're going to cut corners, right? We're going to cut corners to win. And one of the scariest things that I've heard in the past like few months, sorry, not we, the US and China are going to
What
cut
happens when they
corners.
run out of
And
taxpayer money?
it's not run on taxpayer money, bro. It's investment. It's literally, it doesn't come from the US government. The federal budget's like $7 trillion.
So is it investment or is it the U.S. government doing an
That's the
arms
other question, bro.
Bro,
Alright, never mind.
everybody in the US needs this technology if they don't want to get outcompeted by
Alright,
China.
one last thing. I just want to rephrase part of what she said. Why is the development of AI proportional to productive capabilities?
Bro, can
Like-
you shut up? I want to hear Thomas talk.
Alright, go on.
Well, okay. Why does production of AI?
Just go on.
I don't even know what I'm gonna say anymore. Look, right. One of the scariest things I've heard in the past months is, so last year Sam Altman was fired because he was moving way too fast, right? He was moving way too fast. But then this year he came back, and as soon as he came back, the super alignment team of OpenAI all quit. All the head developers. And the super alignment team is the team responsible for making sure that the AI completely aligns with human values. Right? They're their safeguard team. They're humanity's safeguard team. And oh, wouldn't you know it, they all resigned. Okay? And now, so you're cutting corners, right? And so I'm not saying that AI, developing AI is the right thing to do. I'm saying it's going to happen. Right? It's gonna happen. And we have to face it somehow. We need a direction for society to go in. And yes, one of the questions would be, should we restrict AI? Of course, probably should. Is it going to happen? I don't know. Yes?
Couldn't you just restrict AI by letting it be open to every single person? Because then it will be fundamentally like interacting with humans.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
That might be one of the things that we should do. But like the thing is right now, we don't know what's gonna happen. We don't know what the future holds for us. And also, we already don't know how artificial intelligence works. Okay? We know the basics. We know that it learns off of information, and we know how it computes stuff, but we literally don't know how it works anymore, right? And then when we get to artificial general intelligence, we'll have no idea. And we wouldn't even comprehend. This would just be learning by itself, because this is built off of this, right? So how do we make sense of a future that we can't even comprehend, right? We need to think about it, is the most important part, because nobody has thought about it. A futurologist is a job that doesn't yet exist, okay? A futurologist, it sounds ridiculous, right? But that's what we need right now. We literally need people to think about what direction is society going to take in the future, right? Maybe Karl Marx was right about some things. Maybe it doesn't make sense for one company to hold everything, right? Maybe it does make sense for everything to be free in the future. Maybe everything will be free in the future because there'll be so much production, right? And in that case, that's a crazy future that we're talking about. That's the complete abolition of materialism. Nobody would want any materialism because we can just take everything for free, right? We might need to attain some sort of spiritual satisfaction instead of physical, material satisfaction, right? There might even be a demand for nature, right? That's at least I think it's pretty possible that in the future we're going to need a lot more nature, and so we should probably preserve it as well as we can for now, because we're going to be seeking a lot of spiritual attainment in the future. Yeah. Look, I'm just saying, right? AI is like a little kid right now, okay, and we're going to grow up with it, right? And it's going to outgrow us pretty fast. We're all like the masons and the horse workers of pre-industrial revolution times, right? But what's worse than being a mason and a horse worker is being one without a plan, right? You need to have thought about it, right? And if you think about it from a positive perspective, right? The industries that AI are most likely to replace are also the industries that benefit the most from AI, right? For example, medicine, right? We're not saying that it's going to replace all doctors. We're going to say it's going to make medicine a lot faster, right? Because Mr. Smith, my biology teacher, once told me a story about his colleague, right? His colleague spent, 40 or is it 14 years searching for this one protein in a cancer cell, right? And she didn't find it, right? 14 years wasted on this one protein. An AI could find that in seconds. Okay, and an AI could run these tests, like 100 of these tests simultaneously and do them in hours, right? And so the first thing, because biology is all a puzzle game, it's just trial and error, right? So the first thing that AI might bring to us is literally the cure to cancer, like all of it. Literally the cure to disease. Isn't that an amazing thing, right? So it's not all negatives, right? So the important thing right now, guys, is we need to think about our future and not just think, oh, this is never going to happen, because look at this, okay? The world is focusing on it. The world is focusing its resources on it, right? So it's going to happen. I know it's tempting to deny that, oh, maybe this won't even happen, or maybe this will never happen. This will never happen. The AI will never become conscious. And even if AI doesn't become conscious, as long as OpenAI keeps developing its technology like it's doing now, it's going to replace a lot of us, okay? So we need to think about how do we secure our position? How do we make sure that we don't? How do we live a better life? What should we do? Right? The purpose of this session is not to like educate you guys on any particular topic, because there is none right now. This is a completely new field of study, right? There's nothing to be educated on. We need to think. We need to think about what we want in the future and how we should deal with it. So do have a think.